All right, here we go. All right, so as you figured out, second hour, I'm not here. Third hour, or fourth hour is here. Say hello. Okay, so we're going to be talking about campaign finance laws, which are almost certain to make the AP exam. Here we go. basically, the five that are going to be on that you need to know for the exam is what's called FECA, Federal Elections Campaign Act. And then Buckley versus Valeo is a court case that challenged that. That's the one that the case we're arguing is going to be challenging. All right. And then in 2002, so we fast forward a long time here, we go to what's called BICRA, Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act. Keyword? Bipartisan. All right. It's also called the McCain-Feingold bill. Have you heard of McCain? Okay. And then you have McConnell versus FEC, which challenged the that McCain-Feingold law, and then Citizens United came out last year, or in 2010. That's the one that said corporations are people, okay? And as we already established, when they said corporations are people, what becomes the new means to donate money? Super PACs are what came out of that. Very good. All right, so we good so far? All right. All right, so as you can see here, why do we need campaign finance reform? This is our old congressional districts. I haven't updated it from 2012 yet. But you should notice here, all right, pretty much what does it take to win, all right? Who's your incumbent in 2000? Anybody know? It was Phil Crane, all right? What advantage did Phil Crane have? Generate a ton more money, all right? 2002, he defeats Melissa Bean. What's the big reason why? Money, all right? Now, these are the political action committees. Who do they represent primarily? Interest groups and businesses and corporations, all right? Notice there's a much bigger advantage over here than there is on this side over here, okay? The receipts are money you get from just regular donors and things like that, all right? Now, what did Melissa Bean have to do to win in 2004 and beat Phil Crane? Exactly, so she got just as much money. There are no super PACs yet. Super PACs don't exist until 2010. So the challenger, when they raise as much money as the incumbent, is what gives them a much better chance of winning. Now, does that guarantee you're going to win? What happens in 2006? She wins, all right, but didn't generate as much money, all right? McSweeney wasn't considered a very good candidate, and that might have something to do with it, okay? Now you see she's an incumbent. She's been there a couple terms. Generates way more than Greenberg did. All right, and then this election almost shouldn't count because it was just the Tea Party effect, and just a lot of abnormal things happen in that election. But for the most part, incumbents are going to generate the most money, why they have a huge advantage. All right, what's that? She lost, but Walsh didn't generate. He generated almost no money, so that was sort of the problem with that one. That was just such an odd election because of the Obamacare and the Democrats sort of having the baggage going in. All right, so just so we know what PACs are, this is what the AP exam asks. Pause your video second hour, but fourth hour is going to answer this one. Who's got an answer? Shout it out when you get it. Hey. Now you can see. Okay, correct answer is E. So the primary purpose of a political action committee, all right, is to raise campaign funds to support their favorite candidates. All right, they have to be separate from the interest group or from the corporation or whatever. It's got to be a completely separate entity in that regard. Do not confuse these with super PACs. All right, PACs can give money to candidates. Super PACs cannot. What can super PACs do? They can advertise. They can spend money, all right, and they can give it to organizations that spend money, but they can't give it to any candidates in election cycles. All right. Another question I've asked about PACs, which of the following is a correct statement about political action committees? Pause your videos. Any guesses? Correct answer is C. All right. PACs are limited by law. All right. You don't have to memorize the number. I think I do put it on the exam, though, but I probably shouldn't. It's such a simple question. The correct answer is $5,000. That's the most a PAC can give any candidate or any political party in an election cycle. Yes, sir. Right, because you're pausing it, so you don't need to wait for me to pause it. Exactly. Okay, so why is campaign finance important? Again, here's what it takes to run for office. You can see for the House, all right, about a quarter of their money is electronic media advertising. I'm going to show you the Senate next. All right, what do you think's going to change for the Senate? Electronic media will go down. Why do you say that, Miller Time? Okay. Exact opposite. All right. Why does electronic media go up for the Senate? Where do they have to campaign? Right. They got to campaign the whole state, so they need to raise a lot more money and buy more TV ads. House candidates rarely go on television just because the districts are so limited. We have 2 different House candidates even here. So to advertise on Comcast Cable, Randy Hult's going to be wasting money because half of you have, who is your representative? Brad Schneider. The rest of you is a Hultgren. All right. Okay. So FECA is our first law. It's called Federal Elections Campaign Act. All right. This is not an AP question. This is just seeing if we know anything yet. If we raise money, according to the Federal Elections Campaign Act, what is it called? Correct answer is B. All right. Hard money is money that is raised under guidelines and disclosed. All right. Soft money is kind of no more, but we'll get into what it is in a later lesson. All right. If you get the difference between these two, you are well on your way to understanding campaign finance. Okay. Let's see if we can make this. There we go. All right. So hard money, pretty simple. It's contributions that you give to a party, to a candidate or interest group. All right. It's limited by law and it's disclosed. You see what it is. That's a simple way to think of it as hard money. You see where it is, you know what it is. All right. Some people call it hard money because it's hard to raise, because somebody has to voluntarily write you a check and say, we want you to spend this on behalf of candidate X, Y, or Z. All right. Soft money, this was banned in 2002. All right. So it technically doesn't exist. These are funds that that are given to the party. The party can then spend it on party activities, such as get out the vote drives, voter registration drive, stuff like that. But they can't spend it on behalf of a specific candidate. Okay. So that's where most of the money would go, because hard money was limited. If you only give, $2,500 to a candidate and you have more, you give the rest of it to the party. All right. Now let's see if we remember this. Once we ban soft money and you can't give any money to parties anymore, where's all the money going? Right. Not to PACs, to the super PACs. Right. Right. There was something in between called 527s, which were very similar to super PACs. Right. And a 527 is the same thing. They can raise unlimited amounts of money and spend it on behalf of a candidate. Right. It's the reason George Bush got defeated or won in 2004, was he had a lot of good 527s there. All right. So hard money, regulated, disclosed. Soft money, unregulated, and goes to who? The party. All right. Hard money is what goes to the candidates. All right. So the Federal Election Campaign Act of 1971. Let's see if we can guess, history buffs, what caused the government to say, we got to clean up campaign spending. This is directly in response to Watergate. All right. Now, it did 4 things. So this list is going to get bigger where it says contribution limits. The first thing FECA did is limit how much a person can contribute. All right. You need to know the difference between contributions and expenditures. All right. It's kind of like appropriations and revenue. So some genius in second hour should probably walk up to the word wall and write it up there, but no extra credit points, Junior, for that one. All right. So a contribution is money you give to candidate X saying, I want you to win, go spend this. Great job. All right. That's what we're actually going to be arguing about in our Supreme Court case. It put limits by how much PACs can give, how much individuals can give, and how much a party can give to a candidate. All right. It also limits how much a candidate can give their own campaign. All right. Who is that designed to target by saying a candidate can only give so much of his own money to his own campaign? Exactly. This is supposed to put Donald Trump on a level playing field with, Dennis Kucinich, if you even know who that is. Okay. Designed to level the playing field. All right. So these numbers have all changed, but here's what it looked like initially. So a candidate can give, an individual, red would look better. Okay. An individual can give $1,000 to a candidate. They could give $5,000 to a political action committee and $20,000 to a party. All right. Now notice those numbers don't add up to 25. All right. What is the $25,000 limit? It's how much you can give in total. So if I want to give 20 grand to the Democrats and 5 grand to Walmart, how much can I give Brad Schneider? I can't give many. I've reached my $25,000 cap. Okay. I could give 20 to the Democrats and 5 to the Republicans. All right. Now people do that. Why do people donate to both parties? Right, because you want help from incumbents. You don't necessarily want the party to help. You want incumbents. All right. That was Taylor Lintner with that answer, by the way, Alex Johnson. All right, Bull Salzy. I'm going to pause for a second.